The summer has arrived. We've secured Premier League football for another season, so obviously transfers will be underway. But the most exciting thing we are looking out for is an update on the new stadium. The board promised it last year, so we're going to see if they deliver this year. And I don't think there's any chance that stadium is going to be named after me. We're still only on the favoured personnel list, despite being the manager to bring Stockport up to the Premier League and keep them there for 2 seasons. Maybe we will see it named after one of the 4 legends they do have here at Stockport. But obviously before that happens, we do need the board to come through with that promise of the new stadium. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that news this summer. In other exciting news, the budgets have been announced and the board have really given us a healthy budget. £86.8 million to spend with £1 million wage budget. So we've definitely got room in the squad to go out and spend. But like we were saying yesterday, I think there is a few players in the squad who maybe have run the course at Stockport. The likes of Monime, Balde did lose the place towards the back end of last season, in Suzuki as well, despite being a decent backup. I think with Daniel Byrne coming back, the next logical step in his progression is to be a Premier League keeper, and might see him share some football next year. He's definitely not going out on loan. I know I've said that a few times, but this time he is sticking around. But I think maybe a few of these players may be moved on, and we'll see what we can bring in instead. But it does promise to be a very exciting summer, and we'll see what happens once the transfer window opens. We've had a couple of bits of exciting news pop through. First of all, we have had our youth category upgraded to category 3 now. We're going to request that it does get improved again. And perhaps the best news of all, the board have announced a new stadium. It's going to be a capacity of 26,375, and it's going to be named after Jim Gannon. He is one of the legends of Stockport, so it is nice for him to get a stadium named after him. It's going to be £45 million, and we're getting 2.2 million of that by selling Edgeley Park. But I think largely due to the transfer business that we did last year, we didn't have to secure any external funding to be able to build this stadium, so it's a magnificent achievement. I think that'll be ready by 2033, so it's 3 years until the stadium's going to be ready. But what exciting news that is for the future of Stockport County. Transfer window has opened up. We don't have anyone coming into the building today, but we have open negotiations about someone. Marcelo Silva Santos, we were chasing him last year as well, and in January. He wasn't interested in joining us then. He's very interested in joining us now. So we're just hoping he accepts the contract we have offered him. He is a defensive midfielder, but we are going to be signing him to play at right back, I think. Freddie Smith, I think maybe his time might have come to a bit of an end, or a little bit of a standstill at the club. Although he has played relatively well, he has come through the system, I think he has stagnated a little bit, and realistically we do need to improve in that area of the pitch. We do have Lane Barley coming through, who I think will surpass Freddie Smith, but I think we do need another option in there. I think maybe Freddie Smith will stick around for a year. Barley and Silva Santos can be the backups to him, but yeah, we're definitely looking for improvements in that area of the pitch, and I think this year Barley and Silva Santos will be battling it out down that right hand side. Some players who have definitely been asked to move on though. Suzuki is on the transfer list. He's wanted by a few clubs. Akcacek, same with him. Monime and Balde both offered out as well. So hopefully we will get some bites for these players, and we can start bringing in some money and see what we do have to work with. I think we definitely need to sign another centre-back this summer. We do have Hadland coming back from loan. He realistically doesn't look Premier League ready, but he's got a lot of potential, and if there was a time for us to start playing in the Premier League, he could be a backup next season. So maybe that's an option to try, especially when we've got Arnott and Corrigan who can play there as well. In midfield, I think I'm happy with Corrigan and Arnott being the sitting midfielder in that diamond formation. We've got Patino and Owens who can be the Mazzala. Whittle and Giovannini along with Sawyer can be the Mazzala. Giovannini, Sawyer can also play that attacking role. Owen Foy currently has possession of that shirt. So I feel we could improve in that area a little bit. Stephen Whittle will grow to be a fantastic player, but maybe it could be time for Giovannini to move on. He's been a fantastic player for us and still could definitely do a job for us. But if someone does come in and make an offer this summer, it might be something that we find ourselves pursuing. The same with Angelo as well. A player we picked up relatively cheaply for £3.5 million, but we could make 10 times that if we sell him right this summer. Again, he's wanted by, I think, Wolfsburg, and maybe they will come in with an offer for him. But we're going to see what happens. We aren't going to put him on the transfer list yet. We are going to see what happens over the course of the summer, but I do have my eye on a couple of players who could be replacements for these guys. One of those guys is Chris Tipple. Spurs have just made a bid for him, so we have kind of been forced into maybe making a bid sooner than I would want. I don't even know if he wants to join us. We're going to see what the negotiations are. And he's actually asking for a very reasonable age. He's willing to take a wage cut to join us, and we could get him for £23 million as well. If we do look at him, he does look like a more complete attacking forward than the ones that we do currently have at the club, so I think he would complement our front line very well. Obviously another one to add to the homegrown list. He's just come off a season in the Championship where he's got 20 goals, and I think we do kind of need to splurge a little bit this summer. We do need a new striker in the building as well, I think, just to give that attacking lineup something fresh. So we have made an offer for Chris Tipple. I think, yeah, I can understand why he definitely has more interest in joining Spurs due to the European football that they can offer. I think we're already established in the Premier League, but we'll keep that promise in there for him. Very happy with everything that's in here. We'll keep the clauses in for now. We'll keep the sell-on fee percentage as well. Hopefully if he accepts this one, he'll be happy at the club and we can remove all this rubbish in a later contract. But to get him through the door, happy to give him this contract to start with and just see if that's enough to entice him to come to Stockport over Spurs. Santos has agreed his deal as well, so we just need to wait for the work permit decision to see if he can join the club. So we're getting a couple of nice bits of early business done there. Still awaiting some offers for our players. They've only just gone on the transfer list, and I kind of feel like I need to sign George Lucas. Oh my word. I definitely need to sign George Lucas. He looks like an absolutely fantastic player. He's called George Lucas as well. He doesn't want to join us, but oh my word. Oh, he could have come and written Star Wars for us. This is very disappointing. Santos has been granted his work permit for a £19.75 million deal. It was the release clause in his contract, and we do have the money, so may as well go out and spend it. So he will be joining the club. Like I say, I will be training him to play right back and offer some competition there this season. I think he'll be seeing plenty of first team football. But yeah, hopefully he can develop nicely and train well in a new position as well. He'll be another one, I think, who will be getting homegrown a club. I'm pretty sure he was 18 when we started negotiations. I forgot to check to make sure that he would be coming in as an 18-year-old, but he would be. So it's another one that we could potentially add to the homegrown at club list once we do get into Europe. So it's fantastic to have him along, and hopefully we can develop him very nicely for the future. We've accepted a £10.5 million bid for Monome from Watford and a £9.5 million bid from Mallorca for Actachek. So £20 million may be being brought into the club. So that would cover the transfer that we have just made. We're going to go ahead and offer Suzuki out again for a bit of a reduced fee, and we'll also offer João Balde out for a bit of a reduced fee as well. There is interest in both of the players, and we're going to see if they can get the clubs convinced to make bids for them as well. also accepted a £6 million offer for Suzuki as well, so looks to be going very well, getting rid of a few of these players who are no longer needed at the club. So it's nice to get business done early. We're still waiting on Tipple. I think there has been a few more transfer offers go in. I'm not sure if the Spurs one has been accepted yet, so I think we do currently have the lead in that race, but there's still lots of time for him to join other clubs. So it's something that we are keeping an eye on, and we do need to establish other targets as well, just in case that one doesn't go through. We have added another fitness coach to the staff as well, just to keep on improving on that side of the pitch as well. Bristol City have offered a straight £7 million for Suzuki, so we are going to go ahead and accept that, and we'll go ahead and reject this offer from Nice as well. Just want the most money that we can for him. Again, Balde not attracting as much interest as we would want. Apparently we can get £4.8 million for him, so we'll go ahead and invite that interest. Would still be a good profit, almost double what we spent on him. So again, a decent little transfer. Hasn't quite worked out for him, but if we do get that bid and he does move on, still another good bit of business for the club, I think. 3 offers of £4.8 million come in for Balde. Stoke, Met and Alavs all come in for him. So we'll see which one of them he chooses. Hopefully he will choose one of them so we can get him off the books. But again, nice to see a lot of our players attracting interest earlier on. It makes a difference from some previous summers where we've really struggled to offload some of the unwanted players. Immediately they're just going out of the club. And yeah, makes us very, very optimistic for the rest of the summer as well. Like we say, we are still waiting for that Chris Tipple transfer to be confirmed or to be broken down, but yeah, definitely just going to get these transfers over and done with, and then we'll move on to see where else we can improve the squad. And it's not going to be happening. Tipple has agreed to join Spurs. Can't say it's too surprising, but I wonder if Spurs have any players that we could now nab based off that. Can't really see anyone who's too realistic at the moment. We've already looked at Tolosa, but he had no interest in joining us. So it looks like we're going back to the drawing board when it comes to a striker. Akshashek has rejected that first offer from Mallorca, which is very disappointing. Jordan Ross has lost his first game at the World Cup as Scotland lose 2-1 to Ghana. And Oxford are making another bid for Akshashek. We'll accept that one. It's over 9.75 million overall. Going to reject that for Suzuki. He's going to be joining Bristol City, hopefully. And we're still waiting for the other ones to go through. Monime has been allowed to join Watford, so we're getting £10 million back into the transfer kitty. And saying goodbye to a player who didn't really feature all that much last season. Was a useful squad player at best. So hopefully he can go and have another nice career move and enjoy his time near London. We'll get rid of all these youth players, as I don't think they're going to improve at all. And we are still looking for some bargains. I feel Matthew Kerr could be a good option for us to bring in and play centre back. Can also cover at left back. So potentially going to be making a bid for him once he's back from his loan spell, but I think we definitely need improvements in the defensive third of the pitch, so that is where we are going to be focused a little bit, and we'll see what we can do. Balde has agreed his move to Championship side Stoke, so he'll be going for £4.7 million. Again, another player who we brought in who didn't quite live up to the potential we thought we had in him, and hopefully he can go on and fulfil some of that playing in the division below. But I feel we've got adequate cover in that position. Like we say, Arnott and Corrigan both at the club. There is some interest in Arnott, but we're not going to entertain anything like that. And still need to strengthen a little bit. Like we say, I wouldn't mind a better attacking option in there, so we'll have a look to see what we can find. Maybe could be time to give Matthew a little bit more first team football this season. I think the time may have come to try to move Angelo on, with wanting to give Matthew more game time and trying to bring in another striker. Not really sure that there will be too much room for Angelo in the squad. So really toying with that idea. Don't want to do it quite yet, but definitely think it is an option that we are going to consider. We'll see if these other transfers go through, and then hopefully we can move forward from there. We have made offers for a couple of players on this shortlist. Luigi Steenvoorden, but he has no interest in coming to the club. We will probably keep on trying throughout the transfer window just to see if that changes, but as of now there's no interest. The other one is Gerson. He has no interest in a permanent transfer. There is some interest from his side coming in on loan, and that might be something which we do pursue as well. So we'll keep our options open. I do think this guy could be a really good striker, so we'll see if we can make an offer. They only want to negotiate that permanent transfer at the moment, but once they're willing to negotiate further, we will re-investigate that one. And you can tell that the managerial stock is on the rise. We've got 2 job offer interviews. Definitely not interested in the Everton one. That would very much be a sideward step. But this Chelsea one, though, is very interesting. They've still got a lot of the players that they do have in real life. Sterling's just about to retire from the club. Casado's still there, Lavia's still there, Cucurella, Chilwell, Gusto, Reece James, Colwill. So it is quite a familiar Chelsea team. They have been struggling in the Premier League as well. They do have European football this year. I'm going to attend the interview and just see what they have to say for themselves. I don't think I need to be convincing them very much. It's them who need to convince me, in my eyes. So we are just going to try to breeze through the rest of this interview. I'm really interested to see what kind of transfer package they would be offering us. And yeah, we are just interested in what the current finances are. This question stumped me a bit though. A certain malaise has crept into the squad and the players don't look happy. Are you joking? They're absolutely thriving at Stockport. Let's have a look to see what they would want us to do. So they would want us to win the Europa League. They are only asking for Europa League football, so that doesn't really look like too much ambition for a club like Chelsea. So that is actually a little bit of a concern as well. And again, you would be expecting them to want to win competitions like the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So it looks like it's a Chelsea team that may be on the decline. Next year they'll want a challenge for the title, but I would be expecting a bit more this season if they want to go straight from challenging for Europa League football to challenging for the title. Then it's a bit dubious. So we'll see. Like I say, we'll see what the transfer expectations are. But wow, and yeah, I'd had concerns beforehand, but that's 6.5 million. I mean, the wage budget is great. It's probably being maxed out at the minute with the players that they've got. So, yeah, I feel with doing that interview, Stockport is definitely the more appealing option still. So we definitely will be sticking around, or at least we definitely won't be going to Chelsea. It's nice to see that other teams are interested in teams of quite a big stature, but I feel Stockport is definitely the option for us. So if they do offer us, we're going to withdraw our interest and we'll move on with the window for Stockport. Suzuki is going to be joining Bristol City. His work permit was declined, but they have allocated one of the ESC places to him. So he will be moving on this year and did very well in the first half of the season when he came in, I feel he did become quite an instrumental player in us staying up. But Bazunu definitely surpassed him last year. We want to give Daniel Byrne more first team football in our first team. So I feel the time is definitely right to move Suzuki on. Hopefully he can have a decent career still in England. But yeah, we've definitely moved on for him. We have made another transfer. It's a youngster coming in from Manchester United, £1 million. Looks like he could be a decent option for the future. We're going to loan him out this season and see how he develops. He's on a 5-year contract, so at the very least we've got a player who I think we can develop a little bit and sell on for profit if he doesn't break into the first team. Apparently he's only a championship standard player, but I feel he looks like a similar player to Dempster, where he's going to defy the coach and scouting expectations that have been put upon him. Similar with Dempster, it's probably going to take a couple of loans out of the club for him to discover his true potential, but I feel he could be a very, very good player for us if he does develop correctly. So hopefully we'll find the right loan spell for him, and then we can see a good player for us in the future. A lot of loan players have returned to us. Tom Brooks, Lee Smith, both back at the club. Same with Isaac. We definitely want him to be gone this summer. Might have to be another loan. He's only got a year left on his contract. But yeah, definitely doesn't fit into our team anymore. I think the same can be said of Tom Brooks and Lee Smith. Although Lee Smith hasn't made an appearance for us, it might just take another loan spell for him actually. So we'll offer Lee Smith out on loan. I do think he looks like he could be a very, very good player if he develops correctly. Had a 6-month loan spell last year. We'll see if a full season can do anything for him. And we are going to be offering Tom Brooks out for transfer as well. I feel his time at the club has come for an end. Adramola will be joining Rotherham at some point today, so that one will be going through. Reece Welsh, again another one who has no future at the club, so he will be offered out for transfer. We see Daniel Byrne back in the squad, and like we say, he'll be getting a decent amount of football this season, hopefully. Hadland as well, another one who's been out on loan for a few years now. Did come in and play a little bit for us, I think in the first season in the Premier League, but we are going to keep him around this year. He can be a backup to these centre-back positions. Definitely need another centre-back in there, but I feel everywhere else in the squad we do have enough numbers in there. We just want to get a little bit of quality in there. Might loan Matthew out. Like we say, may look to move on Angelo. Happy keeping the rest of them. But yeah, still a decent amount of work to do, I think. We have had a few offers for Brooks, but it's all loan offers at the moment, so we are going to reject them. Bolton have made a proper offer, but it's definitely not the money that we're looking for at the moment, so we'll reject all of these. We will look to offer him out again. It turns out the value we were offering him out for was way above the asking price, so yeah, Tom Brooks is a transfer that definitely has not worked out for us. $3.5 million spent on him. Was a fairly decent player for us in all respects, but yeah, definitely didn't make the step up, and will be losing money on him, which is unfortunate. Isaac can go and enjoy a season out at loan on Wigan. We've spent summers trying to get rid of this guy and he's never gone, and I feel a season out on loan is probably the best that we're going to do. Won't be able to get all the wages for him, so he can go there, and our search for players continues. We have come to that time where we know teams are releasing players. Matty Cash could be a decent option to bring in for a year, maybe at right back, but probably feel like we don't need him. Would just be probably filling up a position in the squad. Disappointing that there's not much option on here. I think teams are becoming more adept at keeping the good players, at least for transfer fees. So yeah, no real options available here, and we are going to have to spend a bit of money to get some players in. a bit of money coming into the club now. Akjacek is joining Watford, £8.5 million total. We're not getting all of that up front, but we've still got £94 million left to spend. So we're definitely not short of money to blow. We just need to wait and see what pops up for us. One player that we have identified through scout reports is Veljko Milinkovic. I think that's how you say it. But he's currently at PSG. He's at the World Cup and doesn't want to pay any attention to anything until after the World Cup. But he looks like he could be a great player to play in that attacking midfield role, or even in the Mazzala role. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on him. He's been added to the shortlist, and we are just keeping on reviewing this scout report, and whenever they come in we'll keep an eye on them, just seeing who's out there. Can't see many centre-backs on there at the moment that are within our price range. See, this guy looks like he could be a very, very good signing, but at the moment we can't afford him. So yeah, proving a little bit of a struggle to see a striker, maybe to see a defender, maybe Anthony Jones could be the man, but again, it's a quite outrageous transfer fee that we would need to pay, but he is a very, very versatile player as well, so it is quite tempting. We'll actually ask the agent to see what the demands are. It's a bit of a cheaper fee. It would extend our wages a little bit. We'll see if we can bring them down a bit, but maybe with that reduced fee we'll see if we can go in and make an offer for him, because he does look like he could be a tremendous player, capable of playing in a couple of positions across that back line for us. And yeah, I think he could be a great signing for us if we do get him over the line. We'd prefer to pay all of the money up front, just so we aren't hampered by future fees, and it looks like we're getting close to the amount we're going to have to pay. Probably going to have to be the 39 million, so we will offer that. But I think for the player that we would be getting, definitely strengthens us at the back, and like we say, can play in a few positions. Even if we switch back to our formation with wingers, he can even play on the right wing and do a very, very good job as well, to be fair. So yeah, what a player that we're getting here. Hopefully. I think this would be quite a statement signing for us if we do get it over the line. Obviously it would be the record transfer fee, but yeah, I think it definitely would be worth it. We are going to have to break the bank to get him in though. I'll keep the majority of the contract as it is for now. We'll keep the wage rise, we'll keep the release clause in for the time being. We'll try to lower the original weekly wage just to make it a bit better for us, and also give us a bit more negotiating power in the future. 54,000 a week is actually a very, very good deal. Doesn't stretch our wage budget in the way I thought it would. So yeah, I think for the player that we're going to be getting, I'm going to say that's a very, very good deal for us, as long as he does join. We have had a few offers come in for players. Welsh has got a £3 million offer for Coventry, so he can pop off there. We have not been able to get Gerson on it. It appears he might be on his way to Porto, so yeah, disappointing to miss out on him. Lee Smith has had a few offers. We've got some 30% contribution to wages. Yeah, we'll accept all of those ones, and hopefully he can have another bit of development out on loan. He gets the choice of who he wants to go to. No one wants Tom Brooks at the moment, but we will offer him out again for £1 million and see if we do get any takers at this point. Victor Luque, a player who you haven't seen, a player who I completely forgot existed until I saw him, and then instantly put him on the transfer list. So we are going to accept the offer from Moscow. We'll tell Zenit that they have to pay that, and he can just go to one of those two clubs. Transfer which hasn't really worked out at all, and like we say, we completely forgot about his existence. And with us spending a lot of money on Jones, I am going to try to get Angelo out of the club as well. I feel we do need to bring in a little bit of money. We'd like to keep the finances to a reasonable level. So yeah, definitely just want to try to balance the books. We are going to be close to spending the original transfer budget as well if we do go through this. So we're exceeding the board's expectations, and then hopefully they'll be very happy with the job that we have done, and we can see ourselves just shine in the eyes of this board, because it does have the feeling of a long-term commitment here at Stockport. We want to see what we can do to advance the careers of all the players we've got and advance our own career, but we want to take Stockport as far as we can, and hopefully we can get them European football sooner rather than later. And this is the window we're going to make some big signings to help that happen. And we did say the big signings would need to be made. Anthony Jones is the first of those. £39.5 million is the highest fee which we've paid for a player, but I do feel he's going to be worth every single penny of that. Is a really, really good defender. He's got the pace to cover if he does make mistakes, and yeah, I think he can be a key part of our defence for years to come. Hopefully we can sort out the finer details in his contract and make it more favourable for us, but I think just getting him over the line, it is a fantastic deal for us. We've accepted an offer of £950,000 for Brooks, and Angelo hasn't yet to receive any bids, but we are going to convince him to try to find some interest, and we are going to offer him out for a slightly reduced fee. Again, we're just going to slowly go down and see what offers we do get, but I do feel there is a lot of interest in him, so we should get a respectable bid sooner rather than later. We'll start asking the agent if he can gain some interest as well. At the moment, teams aren't willing to make bids for Okafor, so I'll tell you what, he can go and we will cover his wages for the season. You just need to give him a good amount of football. So we'll see if we get any offers based off that, but if we don't, he can play for the under-21s quite a bit and maybe come into our squad if needs be. But yeah, would much rather he did go out on loan. Schalke, second offer they've made for Owen Foy, but it's not an offer which we are going to be entertaining whatsoever. Felipe has returned to the squad, and I feel he's one which probably is going to be getting a decent amount of football this year. His return is one of the reasons that we have felt confident to offer Angelo out, and it's making us more interested in offering Giovannini out as well. I feel we would be blocking a little bit of a pathway for Felipe, but could just keep Giovannini round as a squad option until he gets unhappy. Definitely think he's a good enough player to be in our squad. Isaac gone to Wigan. Will be the last time we see him, so this is officially goodbye to Isaac. Like we say, very good in bringing us up to the Premier League. Got a couple of goals for us in the Premier League as well, but we've definitely moved past him, and he can go and enjoy the end of his career elsewhere. So just a little reminder of what happened last year. Arsenal won the Premier League. This season, Pep Guardiola, the Championship winning manager, has left to join Paris Saint-Germain, and Arsenal have offered me a job interview. Again, this one starts off just much more appealing than the Chelsea one ever did. It's another interview which we are going to attend. Like, what a huge step forward this could be. I know I've said in this episode that it seems like a long-term career at Stockport, but an opportunity to manage the champions of England is a huge opportunity, and I'd be foolish to at least not interview for the role. And unlike the Chelsea one, where I didn't really take it too seriously and got offered the job, I am going to be taking this one a little bit more seriously. Definitely can't hide from the fact that we don't have experience managing a team like this, but do need to be given the opportunity. We have been loyal, and they've asked the same question. I don't know where this certain malaise is coming from, but everyone seems to be having a lovely time at Stockport, so I'm going to disagree again. Yeah, we need results on the pitch. It seems like I'm going out with the same answers, yeah, and hopefully it will do as well. Munchie, he looks like a fantastic director of football, so yeah, definitely more than happy to work with him. We make a good few changes, so we will ask for a decent budget to make changes to the backroom staff. Definitely happy with that plan. They want to continue winning the Premier League, so yeah, much more ambitious than what Chelsea were, so definitely seems about that. Yep, definitely can win the title. £45 million. So I definitely do think we would need a bit of a larger budget. Wages looks fine. Don't have anything more to propose. We'll just have a quick look at the Arsenal squad just to see who is in there. And there's a lot of familiar players similar to Chelsea. There's a lot of Leeds players who are at Arsenal in real life at the moment. So hasn't been too much change, but it is starting to become a bit of an ageing squad. Lots of players getting into the twilight years of their career. So maybe a chance to do a little bit of a rebuild if we do get offered the role. But like we say, it would be much more difficult to turn down this role than it would be to turn down the Chelsea one. And if the offer does come in, I really don't know what I'm going to be doing. If we do just look at the job centre, I'm not currently the favourite. It is Marcelino, the current manager of Atletico Madrid. So maybe they will go for him. It's definitely nice to be considered. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But on the meantime, full focus is on Stockport. We will try to bring in players still and see what we can do to improve this Stockport squad. Jack Roberts, he can be going out on loan again. He had a loan spell at Lincoln before, so he can be reunited with them. Another £3 million offer for Welsh. So yeah, happy with Lee's bids coming in, and hopefully we can get a resolution to some of them soon. Still no offers for Angelo. Teams are willing to pay a little bit more money now, so we're definitely heading in the right direction. We'll have a look at 27.5. I like the nice round number there, and then we'll probably start going down by a bit of a bigger margin. Like we say, I think we have players in the squad who can surpass Angelo this year, and just want to move him out of the club. We are going to be seeing Smith head out on loan to Millwall, so hopefully he can have a good bit of development. Forgotten man Luke will be joining Al Ettifaq and will become a much more forgotten man for joining them. Can't even remember how much we bought this guy for. So yeah, managed to make a decent little bit of profit. Bought him, sent him out on loan, made £2.5 million. Can't complain. Welsh has gone for £3 million. So again, another player which we signed on a free transfer, who we've managed to make money off. It hasn't been at the club for the last couple of years, has spent time out on loan, and now has secured himself a permanent move away from the club, and just helps the bank balance a little bit. Has been going down, but we definitely will get that back up during the course of the season. Tom Brooks has completed his move to Preston. Quite unfortunate. He was the first record transfer which we made, I think, but like we say, it hasn't really worked out for him. Didn't make the step up to the Premier League and has gone back down to the Championship, where he seems to have found his level. Roberts again going out on loan for the season. He's joined Barnsley this time, and we are struggling to sort of find players to bring in. Like we say, we want to bring in quality. Might have another look at Luigi to see if there's any further interest from his side, but yeah, like we said, not too much I can see in the way of improvement, so just need to keep on persevering. I think we might be able to get offers of £20 million for Angelo, and I think that is actually very, very fair business. Like we say, play Weebick up on a free. Hasn't set the world alight. He had a purple patch last season where he got 6 goals in probably around 10 games, but definitely hasn't done enough to impress since then. So feel we are getting a good value for money deal there, even if it's less than what we originally offered him out for. João Muniz is a centre back currently playing for PSV. We will give him a little scout just to see what he's all about, and if he could add some improvement to the back line. I feel we could probably do with another player in that position just to add a bit of cover, but we don't need anyone too vastly. We do have Corrigan, we do have Arnott who can play there, and I think I have just convinced myself that we don't actually need to look for a centre back at all. Speaking of centre backs, Okafor is heading out to Nigeria for a loan spell. I've always had success sending young players out to the home country for loans, so hopefully we will see a good bit of development from him and he can come back into our squad and improve player after going home and getting some good football there. Another player who we do have at the club, which I will admit I did forget about again, is Dimitris Stavro. He's a young striker who doesn't look too bad, but I think would struggle to break into the team this season. Has a few years left on his contract, so maybe one more spell out on loan if anyone's interested. We'll see how he develops on that one, and if he can develop, maybe he can come back and play a part in our squad, but chances are probably going to be moving him on. But if we can see his value increase, then wouldn't that be delightful? We are definitely a wanted man. Obviously we've had all these offers from other clubs, but Stockport again making an offer to keep us around. I'll just have a quick look at my current contract. I'm on £12,000 a week at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of offer they do give us. I definitely am interested in extending my time at Stockport. I am loving my time here at the club. Seems as if that Arsenal job may have passed us by. It is still available, but yeah, it is taking them a while to get back to us, so maybe we'll just fully commit our future to Stockport now. I am still interested to see if Arsenal do pop in though. Yeah, they've given us a little bit of a pay rise, but you know, like I say, I am completely loving my time at the club. We'll try to get a little bit more money from them. We'll get 16,500, 5-year contract, so we're in it for the long haul. I think I am sticking around at Stockport. We'll be seeing the new stadium when that's built, and we'll be trying to be removing Jim Gannon's name for it and replacing it with our own. Hopefully the Stockport players and fans will be recognised as something more than favoured personnel. I'm not even more than that anymore. Let me go up to an icon at least. I keep on coming back to the club. I've rejected so many contracts from other clubs. Say I've rejected them, I've rejected one, but I've been hoping to get another. But they don't know that I should be an absolute icon at Stockport. But with the new contract, there's time for us to move up that list, and we will be the best ever legend that this club has ever had. Another youngster has been signed, this time from Arsenal. He's a midfielder. Could develop and become a useful player. Isn't going to feature in the first team for the time being, but maybe injuries to first team players could see him pop in. Definitely will be developing with the under 21s for the time being though. And this is actually interesting. Luigi Steenvoorden has gone up to being extremely doubtful rather than a complete no-no. So maybe an option to bring him in. We'll keep an eye on that one. Angelo has completed his transfer now. He's joined Crystal Palace. So he's sticking around in England. We'll see how that move goes. But like I say, we want to give options to other players in our squad this year. And yeah, unfortunately, Angelo is a casualty of that. Well, confirmation that Arsenal have gone with a different option. I can't remember disagreeing with the league expectations, but that's the justification they've gone for. Probably doesn't have anything to do with the fact that we've recommitted ourselves to Stockport. So, yeah, we move on. We feel we've made the best choice by staying here at Stockport, and I'm confident that the right decision has been made. We said we needed some big signings this summer, and we've got the second one. Veljko Milinkovic, he was at the World Cup before and didn't want to discuss his future. He finished his World Cup and he decided his future was at Stockport County. We have had to slightly stretch the wage budget a little bit. He's on 69,000. I think he gets around 40,000 every time he plays. So yeah, we have kind of stepped it up a level in terms of the contract which he is on. But it's still very much within the budget that we do have, so we have a lot of room to manoeuvre still, so it's not breaking anything too drastically. And I think as an addition to the squad, what a player this guy could be. We have completed our final signing of the transfer window. PJ Kane is described as a 21-year-old cultured centre-back. He's got 15 finishing, 14 first touch, 16 passing. This guy is not a centre-back in the slightest, but he can play anywhere down the spine of the team. Apparently he can't play defensive midfielder, but we've got plenty of players who can play there. So just a player to round out the squad. I feel what a player we've got in PJ Kane. Has made 6 appearances for England, has got 2 goals already. And yeah, just rounding out the squad in a very, very nice way. And I think we've definitely improved majorly upon last season. Although we haven't brought in too many numbers, we've just brought in some quality players. And I feel this year we can go and just make a very, very, very good effort at getting those European places, whether it be a cup run or whether it be via the league. I think we've strengthened where we need to, and we're looking like a squad that can go on and do things. So I think for this episode we are going to end it there. We're going to come back tomorrow for a double header against Wolves and West Ham, and hopefully get our season off to an absolutely flying start. As always, if you have enjoyed that, please do remember to drop a like and a comment down below. Have we made the right decision to stay at Stockport rather than go to Chelsea, and forward in the Arsenal interview a little bit? Remember to subscribe to the channel for regular updates. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.